Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and you saw this week Miss Stacey Dash just she jumped right in the middle of controversy with some comments about the Oscars, and you saw Jada Pinkett Smith had decided to boycott the Oscars. So Stacey comes back and says that basically things like Black History Month, BET, the BET Awards, things like that, that those are racist and just as exclusionary as the Oscars. So that's drawn a whole lot of controversy, a whole lot of craziness. And somebody brought this up, and I said, or they actually said to me, they said, well, you work with Damon Dash all the time. You teach intelligent boss moves with him. Why don't you ask Dame what he thinks about his cousin Stacey and her comments? And so I said, hey Dame, what's up? Let's talk about this. So I got Mr. Damon Dash here with me today. How you doing today, brother?
What's happening, man?
Not much, man. Not much. Now let's start, I guess, from the beginning. Stacey, she's your cousin. You know her better than I do. Uh, what did you think when you saw this controversy around her comments?
I'm used to it. Stacey's always saying something that's going to invoke an emotion. Especially when it comes to the culture. Stacey's Stacey. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I gotta, it's annoying having a cousin that looks like that and has an opinion and that works for Fox News. So, it was just like, you know, you know what I'm saying? You know,
Wow. Wow. So the times I only saw you and Stacy kind of interact one time, and that was a private conversation. So I'll let you tell however much you want to tell. But I do remember that kind of observing how she has a strong personality in her views, and you have a strong personality in your views, and your views do not align. They kind of collide. What's
yeah.
that like when you guys have a conversation? I mean, with her having strong opinions and you having yours. How's that go?
I mean, we're both adults, and everyone's entitled to a perspective. And even though we have the same last name, we don't share the same perspective in the way we approach life. And because we know each other and we're related, we can be honest about how we feel. So when I'm with Stacey, I tell her my opinions on her opinions, and she tells me her opinions on my opinions. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, everyone's entitled to their own perspective. I just think that there has to be a consciousness of how it affects other people. And I would never say no crazy shit like that. But I don't know.
Well, it does seem, it seems like she's kind of, as her career has evolved. Oh,
I'm
can you hear
sorry,
me?
guys.
Oh, it seems like as her career has evolved, she's kind of becoming like this black Ann culture type. Do you think that's kind of the play here that this sort of like, because you think about Ann culture, she's white, but she'll say things that deliberately just ruffle people's feathers. Do you
Yeah.
think that's kind of what Stacey's trying to do?
I mean, I think that seems fairly obvious. When you get on Fox News and you say something as shocking as that, I think you would probably know what the repercussions of the backlash is. I think, you know, the fact that the platform is Fox News, I think is very reflective of how she probably said what she said. Like, I don't think she actually meant, and I would hope, I haven't spoke to her since, that, there should be that there's segregation. I just think her point must have been that if you're going to say BET or something that's focused and only on black people, then you can't get mad when white people have their own. You understand what I'm saying? So, in that regard, as far as all of this with the Oscars, my thing has always been I'm not trying to be invited to somebody else's party that doesn't want me there. It's their party. They could do whatever they want. I don't have to support it. But I'm not going to be mad at what someone does in their house. That culturally is not ours, the Oscars. It's not, even though there's a black president these days, Hollywood, we all know, is not run by black people, So I've always said that we need to make our own equivalent of the Oscars, which doesn't have to be um, only for black people. It should just be something that comes from our culture, that's run by our culture, so that if we like something white or black or whatever it is, we can, have a platform to showcase that and to give those accolades as we feel. You know what I mean? But you can't, I'm never mad at what someone doesn't give me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not going to be supportive of it, but I'm never mad of it, at it. I don't expect no one to give us nothing. We haven't, as of yet, been given anything. Every kind of freedom that we've had, we've damn near had to take. I know that no one's given me a thing. I know that only thing that people have given me are fans giving support. I've had to have a direct to consumer relationship. As far as the systems, They don't give nothing. They're not built to give us anything. So we have to build our own if we want some, or we're gonna have to run in there and take it. But I'm not gonna complain about it. You know what I mean? I'm so used to it.
Did you see Jada Pinkett Smith's video where she said she's boycotting the Oscars?
Nah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, the thing about that is, let's say Will Smith didn't have an Oscar, or rather a movie, out, would he still boycott? You know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of like I don't have a movie in there. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've had movies that I felt should have been nominated, like The Woodsman and Shadowboxer. I felt dubbed. You know what I'm saying? But right now it's kind of hard to hear somebody say, "Yo, I'm not going to Oscars because I wasn't invited," and expect everyone else not to. What about everyone that's not invited all the time? You understand what I'm saying? So I would rather hear Will say that when he didn't have a movie out. You know what I'm saying? Or Jada. It would seem a little more objective as opposed to personal. So I can't, I don't know if it was, and again, I'm not judging it. And culturally, I'm gonna roll with my culture regardless. You know what I'm saying? So if nobody black is going, I'm not going. Whether I feel like that or not, I'm not doing it just because I'm gonna roll with my family. But personally, I would take it a little better if they didn't have a movie that they thought that they were in, that they thought that they should be nominated for. If it was a year that they had no movie and they were worried about other black people other than themselves. Because I don't see black people in Hollywood helping other black people. You understand what I'm saying? And that's my issue. I'd be like, y'all always mad when they don't help us, but we don't help each other. You know what I'm saying? So that'd be the issue. But I'm not going to get on Fox and say that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to get paid to say it and make Bill O'Reilly happy. That I'm not doing. My thing is, if I have an issue within my culture, I kind of keep it within my culture.
So you think that drove some of Stacey's? Because Stacey's not just a commentator. Stacey is a great actress, distinguished actress. I mean, you worked with her on multiple occasions. Do you think that sort of Hollywood backdrop to all of this might drive her to speak on this as opposed to it just being a political issue? Meaning, do you think that she was kind of
I
looking at
think
Jay?
Fox pays her to say that shit. That's it. I know how Fox is. You know how manipulative they are. I think they wanted her to do something that would invoke conversation, and she did it. I'm quite sure it wasn't done for free. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So the bottom line is, if she would have had that opinion and didn't get paid for it, and she did it on another platform, and she said it a little different, I think it would have been received a little better. But I think more or less what people are mad about is, the platform she said it, why she said it, and the way she said it. I think what she said could have been said a little bit different where people would have understood it better. You know what I'm saying? I just think she was saying, you can't be like, yo, BET, we have our own black stuff that we don't invite white people to, and then get mad when white people don't invite us to their stuff. That's how I looked at it. You know what I'm saying? But then I was just like, she didn't have to say it like that or there or get paid to say it. I would have way preferred her to, if she had that opinion, to say it on BET or have a conversation with someone black when she was saying that, and let someone black have a conversation back with her as opposed to some white man nodding his head. I just think it was the way it happened. But the thing is, it was a job. So I think that's her job right now, to invoke emotion on that platform by saying things that are going to stimulate conversation, man. And I think she knows exactly what the backlash is. But either way, she's my cousin. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Well, you know, um, I guess the last question I want to ask on this is, how do you think this plays out in her career as an actress? I mean, because she's kind of playing, both sides
What
of that
career as
fence.
an actress? She hasn't been in the movie in so long.
But
You know
wait,
what I'm
but
saying?
but
Cool is
she's
the biggest movie. I don't. I think that's. I bet if she was getting nominated for Oscars and she was doing the abundance of movies, I doubt she would be on Fox doing those interviews. You
oh,
understand what I'm saying? I mean, that's just how I see it. But I
okay.
love my cousin. Happy birthday to her. And because I don't support her opinions or her perspective, and it really isn't the best thing to hear Dash associated with cooning. You know what I'm saying? But it's funny, man. But it is what it is, man. That's my life.
Well, I tell you what, I would love to see the two of y'all go at it, in the
You don't
show
want to see that.
contest. That would be beautiful, man.
You
But
saw, so you don't want to see that. I wouldn't even do that to her. You know what I'm saying? That's my cousin, so she's a woman. So I can't even really go so hard on her, but I do let her aware of my perspective. From one Democratic to a Republican. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, all right, man. Well, good information, man. Thank you for your insights on this. And by the way, you got a movie Too Honorable that you've been working on. Is it okay for me to mention the film
Yeah, yeah,
at
yeah,
this
you
point?
got
Okay,
it.
I didn't know if it was still under
No, no,
wraps.
shit. Go ahead. Please.
But you've made some really good movies, and I know a lot of people know this, but I think more people should know that because I know like Paid in Full stuff like that. I mean, it was extraordinary. And so,
Thank you.
did you have any thoughts on that, in terms of what you want to share about the film, where
Well,
it's at?
number one, the fact is, not only did I make the movie, I paid for the movie. I paid for it in full. And I'm an independent that believes that you have to bet it all on yourself. And I like to walk it like I talk it. So, I'm in a position where I bet my last on it. I had something that I believed in that inspired me. I took matters into my own hands. So instead of being mad because someone doesn't hire me to direct or hire me to produce or hire me to write or whatever, I did it myself. I'm going to self-distribute it if I must. There's a model that comes with it. You'll be able to see it on my streaming platform. So again, instead of being mad at someone else's streaming platform, like a Netflix or HBO Go or something like that, that's not playing my stuff, I'm gonna make my own and play my stuff. You understand? Instead of being mad at other people's movies, I'm gonna just make my own movie. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being mad at other people's money, I'm gonna be mad at mine. You know what I'm saying? So it's just me walking it like I talk it. It's nothing that it's a gimmick for me to talk about being independent. It's a lifestyle that I live, and sometimes you're flush. And then when you believe in something, you're not. And then you have to wait to get it back. Then you flush again. And hopefully you double up, you flip. And that's what I'm doing in this very moment. I'm flipping. I'm flipping my own bread so I could keep making money, or rather keep making movies so that no one can tell me what to make or how to make it or when to make it. I'm doing what I want to do because it's my dough. And if somebody gets mad about that, then they need to look at themselves. You should get mad about your own shit, really. You understand what I'm saying? And if someone doesn't give you something, that means it's not meant for you. You need to go take it or go make it yourself. And that's the way I live it. That's the way I walk it. But I always feel like the people that talk the most are the people that don't that talk about the game the most, are the people that don't play it at all. And they're judging people based on what they think it should be, as opposed to being in the game and being fearless enough to do it and being judged themselves. So, that's what this movie also represents to me, my independence, the fact that I don't mind publicly being like, yo, I just bet it all, I'm cracked until I get my money back. That's what happens with independence when you believe in something. So that's what this movie is. It's bigger than just a movie for me. It's me really walking it like I talk it, betting it all, putting it all on the line for me, and also investing in me. It's like the first time I didn't put money into Lee Daniels or Kevin Hart or Jay-Z or Kanye. I'm putting money into me. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm proud about. The rush is priceless, and the independence feels priceless, and the gratification once you have a finished product is priceless. It's like having a child. So I would suggest that anyone that believes in something, put your money where your mouth is. Stop judging other people and do it yourself. Stop judging what other people don't give you or what other people don't do. You not doing it, so how you speak on it. And that's how I look at it.
Well, I love it. Like I always say that the reason that employees work 9 to 5 and entrepreneurs work 24/7 is because when you're babysitting somebody else's dream, you don't want to put all your time into that. But when you
Yeah.
have your own dream that you're raising, you become a full time parent. You know what I
All
mean?
right.
You're not
And
you're
you
not a
go.
babysitter anymore.
And it doesn't feel like work. When you're doing something you love, it's not work. You see somebody playing basketball or baseball, they're not looking at their watches. They playing ball till it's dark. You know what I mean? Because you love it. When I'm shooting movies, I don't feel time. You look at somebody gambling, they can sit there for 3 days. It don't feel like nothing. People play video games forever. You know what I mean? So if you could get paid for doing something that feels like time isn't moving, then you actually mastered the game. And then you can monetize it. Woo! It's beautiful. And that's the life that I want to live. I want to get paid for being on vacation, which means doing whatever I love all day, every day, and waking up whenever I feel like it.
Well, that's exactly what we teach in our class, Intelligent Boss Moves. And if people want to learn about the class, you can go to intelligentbossmoves.com. We talk to our students, we train them on that kind of mindset, and I can't think of a better person to do it. So I would say thank you, Dame. I appreciate your time, man.
All right, man.
All right, and everybody, this is Mr. Damon Dash. His film is called Too Honorable. Take the time and be honorable enough to support this film. Also, if you want to know more about the class Damon and I teach, go to intelligentbossmoves.com. We're not playing with this. It's all about independence, strength. That's how you gain your dignity, is being independent, not by begging other people to give you something. So until we meet,
Absolutely.
all right. Well, everybody, I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World. Until we meet again, please stay strong, be blessed, and be educated. We are gone. Peace.